from the beginning, CAST, you know, from the very, very beginnings, 30 odd years ago, meandering through, we did all the show. Our first show we did with them at a little club venue was where we got spotted and got signed at. You know, we did like the Irvine Beach, Loch Lomond, Nebworth, and all those sorts of things. And in a kind of, as I said, in a kind of troubadour way, we've always sort of crossed paths and kept in touch. So it's been, you know, we're kind of like, this feels quite fitting for a band like ourselves. As I said, you know, CAST, Richard Ashcroft, I mean, and OASIS, it's like, it's a Northern Soul thing, you know, and it's kind of like, it authenticates and us being around and being a part of that movement. We're really kind of looking, we can't wait actually. I am excited, even though I'm acting cool.
And like you say, you crossed paths with them so many times in their heyday, but also you know Liam and Noel personally. Were they aware of how much appetite there was for this reunion?
You know, I think things happen when they're meant to happen. I mean, you know, undoubtedly Liam and Noel and Bonehead know how big Oasis are. Everybody knows how big they were, and they are. I think it's just sort of, I think it's just happened. I think it might have caused a little bit, you know, the demand and the fever for this tour. You know, I don't know if it's caught everyone, you know, even them out a little bit, because I mean, you know, people are going to want to be here, but there's been so much sort of kind of, you know, people giving us so much attention and so much of themselves to it. I mean, people, I really do think when we hit that chord, we like that touch paper tonight, you know, and that's going to burn through the evening. And when Oasis come on stage and Noel hits that chord and it does his intro and Liam starts singing, I think the place is going to levitate. I wouldn't be surprised, you know.
Have you seen any of the rehearsals?
No, I mean,
no.
You know, well, it's
do you want to keep it surprise for yourself?
Well, it's not that. It's just, you know, I mean, it's like all the bands have been working. I mean, you know, we all know each other, but we're all doing our things separately and looking after our own ships, making sure they're watertight. I've only heard good things, you know. I know Liam's in top form. You know, last time I seen him, and you know, his voice, everything was sounding great. And Noel's songwriting and Noel's guitar playing, the intros. I mean, I just think that energy tonight. You know, I mean, you know, when you start a band and you start to write a song, you want to change the world. Like, I mean, that's, you know, every great band starts off thinking like that. Now we've changed our world and we've changed people's lives. We've had an effect musically, and that's the beauty, the unifying elements of music. Like. But Oasis did it on another level, you know. I mean, they did change the musical world, like, you know, like on a grand scale. Put all that together, you know, and it's gonna, you know, it's. I think in a world where there's so much division and all that, I think, you know, music, as I said, that medium brings, you know, unifies people. People sing along, like. It's a magical thing to be a part of, as a songwriter and a singer myself, you know what I mean? So tonight's just going to be like, you know, epic, like.
And you've got some pretty big sing-alongs yourself.
Oh, we have indeed, yeah. That's why we're here.
What are you going to start with? Well,
I mean, it's going to be a G chord. It's going to hit that G spot for everyone, you know. I think maybe Sandstorm. Sandstorm's always a great start for us, but you know what I mean? Everything's flexible. Everything, you know, the set may change, you know, but we have a set list that we've rehearsed, and you know, we're just going to do our thing. And as I said, it's about being in the eye of the storm, really. Yeah. I can't get, you know, if I'm going to go on stage and play them songs, if there's one thing I've learned on this journey, this musical journey, you know, it's about letting go and being cool enough to let go and not be too needy when you're up on there, you know. So if we do that right, which I know we will, we'll deliver our songs, you know. And as I said, that'll be the beginning. We're going to get the party started, but it's going to erupt, like, you know, it's going to be stratospheric, I think, tonight.
And that's the great thing about being first on the bill, is you can chill out.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, look, you know, I always was, like, you know, like Richard says as well. I mean, we were always big fans of Oasis, you know. So it's a great thing to. I'll be watching them as well, you know. I mean, I'm genuinely excited to watch Oasis, you know. But I mean, I'm immensely excited the fact that we're part of this massive rock and roll kind of tour. You know, we're doing 23 dates with them. just announced that we're going over to New Jersey and LA with them. We're doing the 19 British and Irish shows. I mean, that's like, you know, I mean, that's a blessing, and we're just kind of like, we're just gonna enjoy the moment, but not like enjoy it, sit back. We're going to deliver and give our thing. We're going to, everything that we've done, all the way we play, all the dynamics, the way between the band and all those songs. I mean, the thing about a great song is it's present and it's timeless. You know, no one's singing it's not an old thing. It's as fresh as a daisy when you're singing like the songs. That's how it feels. It's right in the moment, and that's why people sing along, and that's why people love it. You know.
I always think, I mean, if you look back through all of human history, communal singing is a component of every religion, of tribes in prehistoric times, and because of the way the world has changed, concerts like this are the only opportunity for people to do that.
The congregation, it's like ceremony and the ritual. That's what we used to sit around fires, you know, beating a drum or a log and singing songs, nursery rhymes. We're brought up, you know, with someone whispering a little melody into our ears, you know. So music and song is, you know, words are limited on their own. Sometimes you put them with music and they express real feelings that you find hard to to let people know about. And look, you know, I'm not going to tell you all about the ins and outs, and you know, I'm not the professor of music, you know, but there's something magical about it. You know, magic and music, not too dissimilar in their spellings even.